Time for another video, I reckon. I'm just sort of processing the best way to, really express what I have to say at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out the best words that would come to mind. And I'm sure many of you know there's a cruise ship, apparently, that's heavily infected with the invisible boogeyman, as many people would have heard, right? And as the fear that the mainstream constantly tries to indoctrinate the people with, this constant debilitated state of fear that they'd like to keep you in, as an example, right? Interesting fact about that ship. I came across a post from Real Rukshan on Instagram. Shout out Rukshan, doing a great job there, bro. So apparently, everyone on that cruise had to have been up to date with their you-know-what, right? And apparently, the whole ship is infected with COVID. I would like to know, now this is a perfect example of an elimination, right? A process of elimination to really be able to discount or eliminate the fact that there is a certain minority of people which are causing all of this grief for the other side, and that is us, the unvaccinated, right? Let's just process this for a moment, because this is like a perfect experiment. You've basically inadvertently created the perfect environment to completely destroy any, and I mean any, doubt that us as the unjabbed are not the problem. The whole ship had to be jabbed. The whole ship, in order to go on that cruise. And what are they infected with? They're infected with the very thing that they're meant to be protected from. A large percentage of the entire vessel is infected. I would like to know, and I'm gonna, there is a swear word warranted here. How the fuck, I would like to know, how a whole ship can be protected against something and then are suffering from it, and not every single door of a pharmaceutical company right now has been kicked in and each one of those execs dragged out kicking and fucking screaming. I would like to know how every single politician that pushed this rubbish and every single doctor and professional of their field who pushed this, and I mean really pushed this, I would like to know how they're not being dragged out of their offices one by one by their hair, kicking and fucking screaming, and not being thrown into a police car right now. I would like to know what type of country we live in where not only has all this been proven to be dangerous, not only are there injuries one after the other coming forward, and Facebook pages called Died Suddenly being taken down after 500,000 people are using these groups. I would like to know how much more evidence you slimy scumbags need within all of these positions of power to actually take your finger out of your ass and actually do something for the good of the people of this country. I would like to know to what extent the people need to suffer, and to what extent you need to be given an example of just how much you screwed up as professionals. I would like to know to what extent we need to have as an example happen in this fucking country before people pull their finger out of their ass and actually take action against each and every single one of these big pharma execs, each and every single one of these doctors who stood on national television and told you the safety and efficacy of this product, each and every single politician who stood there and lied with a forked tongue to the living, breathing population whilst they inoculate someone with something that didn't even have any type of long-term safety data whatsoever, and where the benefit was going to far outweigh the risk, which has been shown to be completely and utterly a blatant lie. I would like to know at what point the police are going to get up and do your fucking job. But meanwhile, the AFP's investigating people that are anti-vaxxers. Were we anti-vaxxers, or were we right about everything? Did we say it was going to cause myocarditis? Did it? Did we say it was going to cause pericarditis? Did we say it was going to cause lifelong injuries? It did. Did we say that the invisible boogeyman was going to have less than a 1% mortality rate? It did. So tell us what we lied about, and tell us what we've done that's so wrong that you can create an AFP task force to go after people that are just want to have the other side of the argument be heard just as much as the side where Big Pharma money's backing it up, but you don't have money to go and investigate the real fucking criminals of this country. Each and every single one of them. Why aren't each and every single one of those politicians being arrested right now? Why aren't each and every single one of those Big Pharma whores being dragged out of their houses, kicking and screaming, and put in a fucking dibby van? That's what I want to know. That's what I'd like to know right now. Because you have got a perfect example right now on that cruise ship of just how much this shit doesn't work. Perfect example. So I'm sorry, we're not going to play your bullshit game anymore where the people and the economy is going to suffer as a result of your incompetence. We're not going to let it happen anymore, mate. You had your chance and you blew it. And your trust, that very thin, minute line of trust that the people had for you is completely gone. That complete, minute little bit of trust that the people had for you is gone. The people have lost all trust in pharmaceutical companies, the authorities, doctors, their police, everything. That trust that was built over time is completely gone, mate. You have screwed up majorly. Absolutely majorly. And as long as you see these scumbags at the top, all of these fork-tongued scumbags still living their day-to-day lives, and the AFP is investigating the wrong people while the actual criminals walk free in the streets, we know just who the AFP works for. We know just who ASIO works for. We know just who Victoria Police works for. We know just who APRA works for. We know just who the TGA works for. And it's not for the fucking people of Australia. And it has no of the people of Australia's interests whatsoever. So until we start seeing a mass exodus of the scummy pond that has polluted the fuck out of this country, until we see heads start to roll, who are in these positions of power, who have shown they blatantly lied, took advantage of the Australian people, blatantly lied, and terrorised the living, breathing population of this country. Until we see that, we know just how friggin' corrupt you bastards are, each and every single one of you that are in those positions, mate. The wool has been, we have been completely and utterly just unveiled in terms of, to the level of corruption we have that runs this country. To the level of corruption that is in each and every single one of those seats, those fork-tongued lying maggots who sit there and say they have the people's best interests at heart. How they aren't putting in a massive investigation into just how much this country screwed up blows my mind. But hey, it's all right. Keep investigating. Keep spending your money on investigating the dangerous anti-vaxxers, the dangerous, apparently right-wing extremists who all they cared about was just to have bodily autonomy and actually respect the Charter of Human Rights that was put there for a reason. And to actually have the ability to live their life without the government turning around and telling you what you can do and can't do at every step of the way. That's my video. Share it. Do whatever you want to do with it. But if we don't start seeing, and this goes out as a message to Australia, if as an Australian citizen, or if as an Australian sovereign being, if you don't see at this point that people's heads are starting to roll and mass investigations are starting to happen into Big Pharma, our police, all of our medical industry, our politicians, if there is not a massive investigation at this point, considering what has been unveiled, we know just how corrupt this country is. We know just how corrupt each and every single one of you bastards are in each of those positions, mate. Each and every single one of you. And you're not hiding. No more. We know just how many of you arseholes are friggin'... Anyway, I'm not going to even go any further. That's it. I'm done. Sure, do whatever you want to do with it. But when I see a cruise ship full of people that are meant to be protected against something, and a large majority of that cruise ship is infected with the very thing that they're meant to be protecting themselves against, that to me is alarm bells like you couldn't believe. And I would like to know how the hell they had a safety and efficacy study that had a 97% rate or 99% efficacy or whatever the hell it was, when you have a cruise ship full of people apparently and they're all sick. Then what the hell was happening during those studies, and how is that not being investigated at this point? At what point are we going to stop protecting these pharmaceutical company maggots that have all this money? At what point are you actually going to start looking after the interest of the people and not those bastards who can put more money in your pockets? But don't worry. Karma will come for each and every single one of you maggots, mate. You will reap what you fucking sow one day. And whether it's got to do with something that's happening here, or something that should happen to you, or something that should happen to one of your loved ones, or whatever else, because of the fact, just through karma, whatever that may be, at least then, you will reap what you sow at that point. Whatever the hell would happen. Because there's got to be a balance. Somewhere you can't be able to put so much evil into the world and a balance not to take place. The balance of justice is always there somewhere. So we just need to see where that is. We just need to see where that is. Anyway, see you later.